APA, 60 seconds to guess the champion.
Okay. Is the champion a guy?
No.
So the champion's a girl then?
Yes.
Okay. Just another check. Alright, let's just make it easy. Is it top laner?
Sometimes.
Is the main role top lane?
No.
Is the main role jungle?
Yes.
Jungle. Main role jungle girl.
Does she have plans?
Lilia?
No.
Thoughts?
Is she an AD
We
champion?
can say something.
No.
Princess.
So she's an AD champion.
Yes.
AD jungle?
AD jungler girl.
Oh, Rek'Sai?
Is it Rek'Sai?
Yes!
What can't he do? This
Smart
APA.
man.
Wow.
Smart team,
Guessing
honestly. There were a
Rek'Sai.
little bit of hints coming through there.
Okay, so Team Liquid win game 1. It was close. There were 6 total Drakes. There were multiple Barons taken across the board, but they out-executed FlyQuest in the end. I'd said Yeon didn't have a great game 1. Busio Massu did. Quad looked solid enough.
Yeah.
But then, going into game 2, FlyQuest says, we're taking red side, which is going to be the same side they played on game 1, Emily.
I mean, it means that they don't think that the problems came from draft. They came from execution, which I'd actually agree with. Thus far, both teams seem to be sticking to their bans. FlyQuest banned last time Rumble, Ziggs, Ivern. TL banned Smolder, Lilia, and then Nasus.
Don't ban the dog. Free him.
So let's see. Nope, he's out.
Man.
In the doghouse.
Yep. And then Ivern, I fully expect that to be,
Yep.
that the ban coming through. You don't want UmTi to get hold on that. And then TL are locking in Corki first. So it's looking.
So how long is this ego battle
We
going
have
to
the
continue?
setup
Emily?
for the salty run back here.
Let us know, what does FlyQuest pick next if we're continuing the run back?
Renekton Ezreal, too.
Renekton, Ezreal, 1-2.
Surely we're not doing this.
You won't.
We're just throwing out an
You won't.
idea, you know?
I don't see why they wouldn't.
There it is.
I mean, again, like, do we disagree with their assessment, though? Because I think the only thing I would try to make sure of is that TL doesn't necessarily get the Senna again. But in terms of their composition, like, I would say it's more on execution.
I'd say the 1-2-3 was really good for FlyQuest, so the first phase of the draft. I think Bwipo misplayed lane, and he would have been confident that he's not going to do that again.
Yeah.
And then if they change their 4-5 bans to include the Senna, I like FlyQuest draft a lot more.
Also, in terms of junglers, I would probably lean towards, I was about to say Sejuani, but if he wants to pick it early, there it is. It's going to be the Amumu no matter what. So at least that's going to be their engage option, but it's going to be moved up from 4-pick to 3-pick.
Yeah, so this is definitely going to have a ripple effect into the bans here in 4-5.
Yeah. And we'll see. Last time they ended up taking out the MF and the Kai'Sa, so Kai'Sa is going to be gone. And I will be very curious to see if they remove the Senna for the 5th ban.
That's been the most captivating part about drafts, where both teams acknowledge how strong Senna is, but it is now become like a mind game of, if you're going to pick Senna, are you going to pick him 4-5? If you do, similar to last year, yesterday's series, where it's like, well, now that you've picked it consistently and it's kind of destroying us, we're then going to ban it in game 5. That seems to be the champion that both the teams are kind of feeling each other out on.
Yeah. And the Ori ban
There
is
it is.
new. Last time they banned Leona and Brand, and there is a Senna coming down, which I think is that is the
I do
accurate
like
draft
this.
pivot.
We mentioned in our post game that we think the Senna countered the Amumu. So Inspired actually thinks the Amumu was good. It was just the Senna that stopped him from being effective, which is why they prioritized it earlier, so they get it again, and then take out the thing that countered it in game 1 with the bans. And then because they haven't picked their mid laner here, the Azir Orianna have been targeted from quad, and now he has to go with something different.
Yeah.
One of the biggest anomalies from last game,
Azael.
too. Oh!
Ooh.
Quad Azael. He picked that a lot when he was in NACL, so when he came into the league and there was only 80 carry meta, I was like, man, you got a great control mage player that's not able to play his picks. Now we get to see it on the stage. I'm excited for it.
Team fight circles, they're going to be going for.
A lot of circles.
Amumu into the big
John
Azael
Moore circles.
ultimate.
Yeah, the big anomaly I would say is the biggest change from last game to this game, hopefully, has just been the early laning phase from Bwipo. He was getting kind of rinsed in the first 5 minutes of the game, where that just simply wouldn't have happened if this whole turret play, taking turret aggro, all these things. Bwipo is going to be a lot more confident going into this game, not thinking that'll happen again.
And now on TL side, we do have the MF, and we have really good setup for both MF and Corki with that Maokai coming in. So now that that also has remained on the table, it's nice to see TL picking that up, and then Core will lock in, I would say, a signature pick for him in the Rakan.
A little bit stronger engage from the support position to maybe lock down Ezreal or a Sol so they don't lose the front-to-back fights as hard.
The only difficulty is going to be his role in team fights. A lot of the times with Rakan, you'd want a buddy to be diving with so you can jump on a buy or something. In this case, you have a Maokai, but in a lot of team fights, especially if you have range with MF and Corki, you're kind of just throwing out your ulti and playing at a distance. So it's going to be interesting to see how CoreJJ plays it out. Maybe trying to peel for the Misfortune and Corki if Renekton goes in. There's a lot of different ways, but that's going to be a last pick coming in from Busio for a Renata pick. How do you feel about that?
I like this pick from Busio. It means they want to win lanes even harder and then maybe translate that into some team fighting. Very interested to see this tweak from FlyQuest as we head to the casters for game 2.
All right, let's do it. It is time for a draft that was looking way too similar at the start, but we got some shakeups in the second half of things. It's Team Liquid with the Misfortune Rakan there in the bottom lane. We talk about liking to see CoreJJ with some engaged potential. Wham bam, right there it is.
There it is, his Rakan. Now, is he gonna have the signature on Summoner's Rift? Let's see.
I hope so, dude. There's no bigger flex than that, especially with the rise of Team Liquid and how they talk trash, how they just say whatever they want to say to everybody. That's how you say something. There's so few dudes that have their own skin in the game. You just got to flex on them.
Looked like Spawn almost just got punched in the face when they were going for the fist bumps there. There was some crossing of the streams. They were trying to fist bump.
Oopsie, sorry.
Look, dude, Spawn's a pretty big dude. I don't want to just start beefing with that guy on the stage. I feel like that's not a fight a lot of people are going to win.
Probably the coach in the league that you least want to accidentally hit.
Yeah. The backyard brawls between the coaches.
All right, well, I actually think that the biggest insult is using Aurelion Sol versus APA, throwing that down.
Yeah.
This is nice. I like to see this. There should be some all chat with a steal away like that. And this is actually, Quad only has one career game on the Aurelion Sol, and it was a loss. So if he's able to beat APA, the Aurelion Sol guy of the LCS with it.
Oh, was it against APA? He said, do you remember this matchup last time? I wonder if it was against APA.
That 0-1?
You know I think it was. I think this was their first series of the split.
Yeah,
I seem to remember him bringing out, the full scaling comps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so throwback to it. Team Liquid, 456 wins, passing TSM now for second all time is pretty crazy.
Also, you're triggering my memory because now, I remember now, Inspired also doing the interview afterwards. He was like, that was not Quad's fault. Everyone blamed Quad for that game because APA was able to get so far ahead, but Inspired actually blamed the rest of the team.
All right, well, while we're waiting on minions to spawn, Emily standing by for an interview with NukeDuck.
Thank you, Flowers. I'm here with FlyQuest coach NukeDuck. Is it safe to say that you identified Senna as one of the main problems in the Game 1 draft?
I don't think it was I guess it was a problem. I think it's not good, but we didn't play against it properly, so we have to ban it.
And then going into this game, what is the #1 thing you'd like to see from your team in terms of execution?
I hope they're a bit more comfortable. I think we were a bit nervous on stage. We were like engaging a bit too quickly. We were like kind of just wanted to get it over with. So we threw like completely winning positions, like just engaging too far. And so I hope we don't do that this time around.
What did you tell them kind of in between games to try to mitigate that?
Yeah, I told them just that, that's a habit they have when they get stressed, and that they should be really mindful about that, and that the game it was a very easy game for us to win if we just like focus and relax a bit more in team fights, so yeah.
I agree. We saw some patient play from you last week against T9. All the best in this game. Thanks for taking the time to catch up with me. We'll toss it back to casters.
I actually really like that interview from NukeDuck, and he mentioned kind of what we were talking about with the Amumu, like even just a half a second or a second ahead of time on some of these engages.
Yep.
Versus TL got punished so quickly.
That was definitely one of the best interviews we've seen from him, and we got to touch in on the last time TL actually lost. We saw this one before. Bwipo gonna have to be careful of this. 170 days now. The last time they lost an LCS series was to FlyQuest in the upper bracket back in spring. Got to tap the sign every time another day passes. And FlyQuest looking to reset the number to 0 here today. We're very competitive in game number 1, and it gave me a lot of hope, a lot of excitement for what we could see in the rest of the series.
Especially because we have some really fun combos on the side of FlyQuest. You have the Aurelion Sol ultimate, you know, charging up to the Giga Star to be able to combine with the Amumu. And then you also have more counter engage options. Last time they were all forward, but Renata does a pretty good job of really counter engaging and creating some more space for your team. So maybe to NukeDuck's point, they'll be able to play a little bit slower with some of their plays and actually get the perfect setups on some of these. Because I feel like you kind of have to versus TL.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of ways to interrupt Yeon's ulti. I would not want to be playing MF in this game. Obviously, you know, Renekton can be running at you, but Azael ult can interrupt you, Renata ult can interrupt you, you know, Mumu ult can interrupt you, Bandage Toss can interrupt you. There's so many ways, even from range, to actually stop you. So the chances of him being able to stand and full channel an ulti are, I think, pretty low.
UmTi going in after Bwipo here. Flash for the twisted advance. Bramble smash to knock him back. There's not a whole lot of damage between the Maokai and the Cassante, though, so Bwipo lives through it.
But honestly, him living here is not really a problem because he's already used his TP. So if they can just push this in and Impact can get a reset, Bwipo could be in trouble. You could lose a lot of experience, a lot of minions off that, and that's why I think they went so aggressive, because it was post-TP.
Oh, nice use of the Pathmaker there to knock Bwipo back into the waiting arms of UmTi, who was still in the brush, but Bwipo stays alive. Inspired trying to chase after Impact. The roam from Quad, and UmTi burns its first blood for FlyQuest.
Ooh, Quad Aurelion Sol makes the move, the extra mobility up to the top play, and Inspired had been trailing, waiting in the fog of war during that whole lead up for the play. They actually get the first blood. This greatly accelerates the game plan for FlyQuest. So much of it revolves around these big Aurelion Sol ultimates later into the game. Now with first blood, that is going to be huge. So the timing there, just before the recall goes off, they show, and so they go up, and it's able to get canceled. But that actually just turns into the first blood.
And Bwipo got a level up there. I think that actually saved him. I think he would have died if he didn't level up right on that minion. So was incredibly close. I did like the aggressive move because Bwipo had TP'd back so early with the cull. Like if you force someone to base right after TP like that, you can get sometimes a full level advantage if you can reset the wave. But Quad, great roam, really heavily punishes it.
And I know people's first instincts, when a play like that happens to you, you look at your Corki mid lane and you're like, yo, what are you doing? Enemy mid laner's roaming on us. Do something. But like, there's no other better option for Corki, for APA. For him, he's like, all right, this Aurelion Sol is roaming. I can't move as fast. I'm not going to get there and change it. So you guys need to not die while I go for turret push towards mid lane and try and get a plate.
Renata's coming up here to try to back him up. They were worried about a potential dive. Inspired, you can see, is down on bot side over by that dragon. So they actually sent Busio out of base up towards top to cover a potential dive. You could tell that Bwipo was pretty nervous about it because he was so far back. He has no TP and no flash. They're really trying to cover and enable Bwipo to have a better game this time around. He had a pretty rough one last time on the Renekton.
Exactly. The first 3 kills for Team Liquid in game number 1 were all on Bwipo's Renekton. And with a champion like that, so much of it is not falling behind the pace of the game because you want to be that big threat. You want to be that powerful bruiser that dives in and actually has some sort of kill potential. Mountain Drake claimed here by Inspired, going to be traded with no fight from either side for the Grubs going over to TL the other way. As Bwipo pops Dominus, Impact's ready to go all out and try to drag him back closer to UmTi. There is no flash available on Bwipo any longer, and now that Impact has his ulti, he should have enough damage to make this work. Meanwhile, back over in mid lane, CoreJJ is going to be the focus, and Quad's looking to grab yet another kill. APA tries to escape while Bwipo wastes a lot of time for him up here in top lane, but it ain't going to be enough. A 1-for-1 trade across the rift.
Great job by FlyQuest to get a kill down on that mid lane, but seriously, for Bwipo to die there, you know that they're going to be up there. They're doing grubs. It is a trade. They put a lot of emphasis into protecting him up on the top side. Quad roamed up. Inspired came multiple times. Busio walked up. And then you die to a very obvious gank right after the grubs. That is not what you want to see from your top laner.
Yeah, especially while your team is communicating about their play in mid lane that they're pulling off simultaneously. The kill, of course, did actually go into the hands there of the Renata, of Busio. So not the worst of worlds for TL, but let's take another look at the setup and them going for it.
Yeah, and this is just Core getting caught out a little bit. We didn't see the start of it. Really nice grab, and then the ulti, it all comes down in onto APA. Core goes in to try to bail him out, gets hit by the ulti from the Amumu, and is able to be finished off with that flash there.
Yeah, with those two ultimates,
Flash, excuse me.
you can actually miss a lot of other stuff. As long as you have an Aurelion Sol ult and a Amumu ult, don't really need the extra ones, and so they were barely able to finish off that kill.
And hey, you say you don't want the kill on Busio, you'd prefer it on a carry. Look at that inventory right now. Ruby Crystal.
Boom.
He's
10%
off,
of an item.
He's
Boom.
off to the races. He's ready to go as FlyQuest is up just a couple hundred gold, and Bwipo is once again looking to proxy farm.
I know what I'm getting flowers for his birthday.
A red
Ruby
box.
Crystal?
He loves ruby crystals.
They're great.
Let me tell ya.
They build into so many fantastic items. As UmTi working together with his team here, CoreJJ moving up with him to steal away the enemy blue buff, because Bwipo is just taking over the blue side of Team Liquid's jungle, making sure that he's got complete control over that area. Impact coming around to try to do something about it now, but probably not a whole lot to be done.
Yeah, not really it's not really worthwhile chasing either. That's kind of the annoying thing with proxying, is it's like you kind of waste your time if you go after them. So he's kind of just avoiding the matchup, basically. And if you think you're going to be losing in the 1v1, you know, if you're not going to win out on those trades, hey, just go behind the tower.
Yeah,
you force them to tank that minion up. And top lane has been a pretty big focus, though. UmTi has been actually spending a lot of time up there this series, which is interesting to me. You know, we've seen some shifts for him as well. You know, top lane in the regular season was obviously such a priority. He was playing much more around mid in playoffs. But this series so far, it feels like he's been back again, prioritizing playing around Impact, as it has been these standard lanes. It has been Impact and Bwipo 1v1, and that's been an area they really wanted to attack.
Yeah, definitely is always fun examining the jungle proximities for each of these teams and how they change as the game plan changes, and the decisions here with lane swaps heavily affect those proximities early in the game too. I, for one, am kind of happy that we have had another standard setup here.
I, for two, and happy as well.
All right, we've got 2 for 2 up
Five
here.
for three.
Yeah, 3 for 3. Honestly, it's cool because, to me, it emphasizes stuff like we see in mid lane, where you get to see roaming mid lane champs like an Aurelion Sol with this big mobility spell actually get to use it and have some meaningful, you know, decisions to make around the map. We saw the First Blood move, but that First Blood has knock-ons effects of it's going to be an earlier Liandry's for him, as Amumu's already completed his Liandry's. Aurelion Sol will be pretty soon. He had to stop off for the tier, of course, as a mid laner, but the Dragon game plan is definitely going according to plan here for Quad, as he initially goes...
Ooh. That could have been a big catch. The second pot of grubs is just now spawning. If APA would have died there, that could have been an easy take for FlyQuest, and it looks like Inspire's just going to go ahead and start it up anyway. Amumu very good at clearing these out.
And it's the timer for your mid.
Renekton's going bot, though.
They want to make the play in bottom lane. Bwipo looking for the angle here with the TP flank, but a nice interrupt coming out from CoreJJ. The hostile takeover chases after him, but it ain't going to find the bottom lane duo of Team Liquid. Bullet time to try to clear out the wave. Yeon stays alive for now, but he ain't going to survive the dive. Busio gets away with 150 HP. Impact arrives, but it's way too late to get a whole lot done.
Yeah. You saw the Misfortune ult attempt here. Busio says, not on my watch. He goes immediately in under tower. Really good job from Busio, recognizing that if the Misfortune ult is channeled, the minion wave goes poof. Mid lane, they actually might get chased off too, as Inspired visits again with Quad, but they don't want to go too deep into enemy jungle. Yeah, a little bit of a bait attempt there maybe. If you let that connect, then Maokai ult comes out. But if you let it connect, you also run the risk of Amumu follow-up and how much damage can they actually dump into it. So a bit of a risky bait, so doesn't want to actually let it connect. Still, though, really nice job from FlyQuest, because it had looked like Team Liquid had the escape, but they had to keep running, and they tried to clear the wave instead.
And I really like that they forced that as Massu. Got out here, no cleanse.
Massu was not ready for the ultimate of UmTi to cut off his escape route. Yeon's getting his first kill of the game there, shortening up that gold lead that FlyQuest has been building.
Yep, he's playing TP, has no cleanse, so no real way out of that one. But it was just a really interesting run of play, because as soon as Bwipo is TPing down a bot, you know you guaranteed are going to lose the Grub's top. So you have to make that play happen. And a lot of credit deserved by Busio for that flash that you called out, to be able to flash in, stop the bullet time, keep the minion wave there, allow the dive to happen. And that forced a response from Impact, which was a little bit late, so they got that TP out of him as well. So, you know, FlyQuest doing well in these early stages. The gold pretty darn close to dead even because there has been a lot more plates, it feels like, going TL's way. But FlyQuest has 2 early dragons, and the gold is close with a comp that scales really well, so they've got to be feeling pretty damn happy, I think, about their spot.
First turret bonus as well, and all of that local gold of the tower also going into Yeon's pockets to fund that bloodthirster for the misfortune. 1 item power spikes coming in very, very quickly for most of the members. But here's another look at the escape. And they did such a good job, as you see CoreJJ peeling Bwipo and barely getting out of range there. Really nice peel. But then, you mentioned it really early on. How many misfortune ults are ever going to get channeled? I mean, we'll start at 0 for 1, but it might stay at 0 the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. There's just so many ways to interrupt it. Also, credit to Core on that TP. He peeled really, really well, right? You know, so they're able to build that space to maybe turn around the play. Obviously, in retrospect, they maybe just had to evacuate and just fully run. But Yeon obviously thought with the bolt time, hey, I clear the wave, we delay the play, then we really win out here.
Yeah, you could look at it again and say maybe if CoreJJ stands in front of him when he channels, or they channel a little bit.
But then you get thrown into him with the handshake anyway.
Exactly.
So it's definitely tough, but you know, in the moment, I think they definitely made the right play, and FlyQuest just capitalized on it well from Busio.
Still a very close game after 14 minutes here. The Rift Herald spawns and is immediately jumped on by UmTi. You can see Team Liquid also has Yeon and CoreJJ nearby to help with this. Make sure that FlyQuest can't just walk up and try to take it. But FlyQuest still look to contest. Herald is secured, is smitten. Eyeball picked up. Okay, I always do a double take there. Sometimes we see the eyeballs have to get left on the floor, but not today.
Who is Herald smitten with? Who's Herald got eyeballs? Okay, yeah. UmTi's looking kind of good.
No eyeballs left behind here.
Herald and UmTi forever.
Oh.
It's kind of messed up that he killed him then.
Well, yeah, and then took her eyeball and stuck it in his pocket.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. And then you have to actually crush it to summon her back. Yeah, it's all kind of messed up when you think about it.
Let's not think about it too much then.
Yeah, don't examine too closely.
No, yeah, let's just, they're going to be friends and they're going to summon and help each other later.
Shelly's just crossing the rainbow bridge.
Yeah, she's, Godspeed, Shelly.
Shelly will come back. I have faith. She'll come back to him. Yeah. You know, if love is really meant to be, then...
Oh, yeah. So if you love something...
Let it go.
Yeah, there it is.
Which they will do as it brutally crashes into a tower later on in the game.
Yeah, or kill it and then put it in your pocket for later.
That's the lesser-known half of the quote, yeah.
All right, during this enlightening discussion...
Good save.
During this enlightening discussion, we have had full vision takeover of the red quadrant of FlyQuest jungle and an attempt on Impact's life. Well, not a very...
Yeah, I don't know how scary this really is because it's Bwipo and Inspired. There's not a lot of damage there. Impact is summoning up some help as APA arrives first. Quad's going to arrive for the teleport of his own. The big ulti is ready here from the Dragon, but Inspired is already dead. FlyQuest wanted to make a move on Impact, but they just didn't bring enough guns. One more shot is all they need, but Impact with a rare miss on the third in Tofo strike. Let's see if UmTi and CoreJJ might be able to finish this off. Not quite yet. Bwipo escapes. Inspired falls.
And meanwhile, I got to see on the minimap, maybe we can get a replay. It looked like Yeon went into the Raptor Pit and ultied over the wall to clear the wave, so he wouldn't actually get spotted and interrupted by Busio on that. So was able to clear that out.
UmTi taking some shots from Massu as he and CoreJJ try to exit. Meanwhile, the Rift Herald clearing out that bottom lane turret, doing some damage under the tier 2 at the same time. Yeon and UmTi just trying to get the wave shoved out back in mid lane now as well. Next Drake spawning in under 60 seconds.
I love just watching TL after they make plays. The escape here as UmTi flashes away.
That's a justified question mark frog there.
Yeah, that's the exact right moment to use the frog.
Yep, fair frogging.
Ruling on the Rift is...
It's a fair frog.
Fair frog.
Fair frog.
Play on.
Right.
Yeah, play on.
Game will continue as planned. Bwipo losing a lot of HP there to those rockets from APA. Yeah.
The frog enraged him, and then he wanted to continue chasing. It does happen.
Are the rules for the
like
Teemo Yeon different than the Pepega frog? Everyone is has its own qualifications. Here's a look at the original play, but what I really loved was actually what TL did after their play here. Really nice counter. You mentioned the clear on the wave and then running down the river too. So TL had brought everybody to counter this attempt from FlyQuest.
Yeah.
But then they also got so much out of it, being able to get this tower and then the other one. Of course, the slow-mo on the sidestep there from Bwipo has in fact invested flash for it, and Bwipo actually got to leave.
Whoa, happy spawn!
Wait a second.
UmTi, I don't think UmTi's going to be very happy about that one. Twisted advance, tries to stay alive, but it ain't going to work. The execution from Quad secures the kill. And critically, it happens as the Drake has spawned. FlyQuest already has the first two. If they secure this one, they'll be at Soul Point on an Infernal map. But Core and APA are moving into
Massu has no TP.
Inspired drops the ulti, just trying to lock up CoreJJ, who can't escape. Quad's on a killing spree, and Yeon has to flash out. APA still firing back at him as Inspired limps away from the fight. The Dragon is still standing, but another Dragon is ready to continue pushing the fight forward for FlyQuest. Quad very powerful on this Aurelion Sol, and FlyQuest will maintain control over the Drake. APA trying to get a cheeky steal there at the very end, but it won't happen.
What a critical fight for FlyQuest. The Dragon auto attack, the last bit of damage onto CoreJJ to finish off the Rakan. They get their third Dragon for stacking, and they get their extra money here to fund the mid game. Guess what? Aurelion Sol has the most annoying slow now in the game, the Rylai's plus Leandri's combination two. Here's another look at them really rushing it and trying to burn it down and then reacting to teleport.
And look at where Massu is. I thought they were going to win for sure because they had the TP from Impact, and Massu had just used his TP to go up toward top lane, but they get that early kill on the Core. Inspired barely gets out, has the bailout. Look at that health on Inspired. That is maybe 50 health, maybe 30 health on the Amumu as he actually limps out. And then Yeon just gets pushed out the other side. They're completely split, so they can't re-enter the fight. FlyQuest winning out big time on that one. Move to Soul Point in a really pivotal game here.
Quad on the Aurelion Sol. Remember the first words typed in this game. APA said, remember the last time we played this matchup? Well, it is looking a bit different because I think from here on out, the Aurelion Sol is going to be like the biggest problem. We'll see the super charged up ultimates on top of Amumu ultimates, on top of Renata ultimates. It's just such a wide area of control.
You know what I think is also a really big problem is the fact that Mikhail's is now done for Busio. Their only real engage on the TL side is Maokai ultimate. You throw that out there, one person blocks it, he gets Mikhail's. Even if TL want to try to pile in behind that, you can just throw out the hostile takeover at the same time to disincentivize that. And it's going to become really, really difficult because you have this really slippery carry in Massu and you have so much peel and counter engage to cover Quad. It's tough. If you full send it on him, you get Amumu ulti to get hostile takeover, Renekton's in your backline.
It's got to be CoreJJ on his Rakan with his flash, getting in there quick to lock somebody down before they have a chance.
Still no turrets claimed on the map by FlyQuest, however. They've got total control over the Drake situation, but only the single grub, no turrets to their name. Rift Herald also went the way of Team Liquid earlier. 1,500 gold lead now for TL as they do knock down that outer turret in mid lane. As all three tier 1s now removed from the FlyQuest side, as we've got about 2.5 minutes before that pivotal dragon fight is going to happen. Team Liquid knows they will have to contest for this.
They do, and they just have to be thinking about this dragon problem. I'm trying to come up with ways for them to actually...
Which one, the Sol or the Quad?
The Quad.
Okay.
I think the Quad dragon problem, yeah. The other one is going to lead in, so they're kind of connected problems.
Okay.
But if he charges...
Couple of Dragon Bros.
He charges up his ultimate. Like, how do you get back there? He's got fully charged tier, so as soon as he has money, you know, it's going to be a Seraph's combination there, and then it's got an extra shield. It's got so much range, and they're really going to have to create some creative stuff there with CoreJJ and UmTi combining. Maybe Impact is able to get a deep teleport ward. They're putting a lot of deep wards, and if Cassante comes out of the correct angle here, maybe it can completely change the setup for one of those fights. Impact definitely has had some really good angles thus far.
I will say, Yeon is really rich. You know, quietly he's over 2,000 gold ahead of where Massu is. But again, that problem remains. You know, can he actually get a full bullet time? Can he even get a bullet time that reaches onto the backline and is hitting Quad? That is really my question, because he has been the benefit of so much tower gold, so much plate gold. He's stealing away jungle camps. You know, he's getting really, really strong. When you get to your third item IE, you have so much AD that a full channel bullet time is an absolutely absurd amount of
4,000 damage.
Exactly. It can kill you like 3 times over. So if they can get it, then that's kind of how you can win the game. But it's such a big if, because I feel like FlyQuest's got to know this is the main tool we need to stop, and they're always going to save something to try to interrupt it.
And actually, TL, if we're looking at the calls that they're going to make to win this game, it's probably just kill Inspired quickly. They don't have to worry about going to the backline to try and catch this dragon. I mean, the ultimate coming down is going to be a problem, But Inspired, again, is all magic resist here. So you mentioned Misfortune, Ultimate, Shredding. If they can lock up Inspired, lock up the Amumu as Amumu is looking for the engage, they definitely have the AD to burn through him.
Yeah, literally no armor at all. Merc Treads, Abyssal, Liandry, that's the same core build that we saw in the previous game. The live thread and the post-match discussion were definitely not fans of that build.
So he does, yeah, like a similar situation where it's like, oh, our Aurelion Sol is so fed, right? Let's shred some magic resistance so Quad can turbo carry and just melt everybody. And if you play off the timings of your CC, you're just trying to play so they can't hit you. So you have a Amumu ultimate locking them up, they can't hit you. You have Aurelion Sol ultimate, you have Renata ultimate. So if you play off of your CCs correctly, and you actually have the correct timing there, pixel perfect layering, then they don't actually like auto you very much.
Where I did question it a lot last game was there was 3 ADCs, you still didn't build tabbies, and then after the Abyssal, he was still going more MR. But I do think this is a really risky build, but I do think it's defensible because it's not just about having magic resist, it's about being aggressive too.
Yeah.
Impact trying to get away there with a Pathmaker as he goes all out, and Inspired's going to be locked up here on the front line, but Impact is incredibly low. UmTi has to try to get away from Quad as CoreJJ goes in for a big engage, but it's not on anybody valuable. Now he's burning away to the Liandry's. Bwipo's on the front line, but again, the Sterex Gauge saves the day. Somehow nobody on Team Liquid is dead, but they are all in a critical state. Impact and APA are still trying to escape. The Blast Cone might be their only chance, but Massu jumps back over the wall. The Mystic shots are flying, and Team Liquid is trying to get away. They will not do it. A shutdown from Massu as APA drops, and Impact is running towards the FlyQuest base. Massu just needs one more Mystic shot to put him in the dirt.
Massu with the chase down. Aurelion Sol and Ezreal, it's like 2 of the carries with some of the best chase. I guess Zeri would be like the ultimate there, but they finally get their extra kills, and that was because TL were split. They had APA burning down the dragon because they really wanted to deny that dragon's soul. So they invested so much here on their engage. And CoreJJ actually going back in for the re-engage to try and create space for the rest of the team, but they all got chunked so low, they couldn't get out after they pulled their little heist on taking down the dragon. So FlyQuest are like, you know what? We're kind of happy to get so much gold, even though you did burn down the dragon.
Yeah.
They recognize their Corki's not here.
Exactly. It started by a good handshake by Busio over the wall. Yeon again, he's trying to find the angle for the bullet time. He did not see the hostile takeover coming. That was already used before he bullet times, gets interrupted immediately. And he just said, Kobe, APA wasn't there. So if the bullet time gets stopped and APA is there, you have no damage. MF auto attacks it, really not the most threatening part of the kit.
Yeah, it was all about try and scramble and get out for TL. They're like, create distraction so we could buy some time. But Massu getting the chase down, like that's a big shutdown plus another kill onto Impact too. So the Ezreal was already getting a lot of extra money, but still has a long way to go as far as the Misfortune gold that she has accrued.
Man, FlyQuest is looking good here in this second one. 2.5, closer to 3 minutes until they have another chance to secure that Infernal Soul for themselves. 3-0-2 on Quad's Aurelion Sol. Massu just using the True Shot Barrage to scout out the Baron, make sure that's not trying to be sneaked away by Team Liquid there. As you can see, we're still working towards that Evolved Seraph's Embrace, completing the tier build. Also has the Blighting Jewel in the inventory for Quad, working towards some magic penetration as well. QSS built earlier for APA in this game than it was in the previous one. I think he's recognizing exactly what we were talking about. It's MF ult, not the rest of MF, just her ult and him.
Yeah, and I mean, there's the hostile takeover, there's the Amumu ult, there's Renekton stun. QSS is an insane value in this game. TL again just going to be starting up the Baron, seeing if they can actually sneak something away, but this time you don't have the ability to secure this that fast.
Both top laners are on the other side of the rift right now. Impact interrupts the TP from Bwipo. Inspired is in the pit, and he steals the Baron away from UmTi. Team Liquid trying to get themselves away now. Another nice bandage toss coming out from Inspired. FlyQuest pull off the heist, and they get everybody back away. Impact with a teleport in now. Remember, Bwipo cannot match. He's got to go around the long way. He wants to try to cut off Busio, but it ain't going to work. A flash away from the FlyQuest support now puts Team Liquid in very dire straits. A killing spree for Massu, followed up by the rest of FlyQuest engaging. Team Liquid running for their lives as APA is going to get cut to pieces Bullet time finds a little, but it won't find enough. A double kill back over to Bwipo. Only one left standing on Team Liquid.
FlyQuest take control of the entire game. Inspired. He slowly walks up and steals their Baron in the face of a Maokai that has a Q smite combination. Inspired gets it, and then after TL try and teleport for the pinch, it's actually a really good chase. Again, the mobility of Aurelion Sol and the Ezreal here on the chase down. Here's a look. Maybe he tried to interrupt.
I'm not sure exactly what this. Oh, yeah, he did interrupt the TP. Then he got away and TP'd in. So I think maybe that's why they thought they could just actually finish it. Let's see, down to 1,400, hit 1,000. As UmTi was actually pressing the Q for the Q smite. He just got that smite in that split second earlier, it looked like, and is able to finish it off. And that is massive for FlyQuest. It took what was feeling like, okay, this is FlyQuest favored, but it's within striking distance to that's probably the backbreaker there. And I think FlyQuest is going to win this game.
And I want to highlight Quad with the charged up ultimate. Drops the meteor on him as Bwipo has finally been able to walk his way over. So it's just really good chase from FlyQuest. And even with the misfortune ultimate, let's listen in.
Nice job, guys.
I think can end or no?
Yeah.
If no, I TP top.
No. TP top and
Okay,
take gold.
TP top.
Yeah, a little early to end.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little bit. But FlyQuest still
I like the ambition.
in total control over the game. They tried to use the Aurelion Sol ulti there to get the pick on the
Trying to
enemy
stop
top
Sol,
laner, but it
man.
ain't going to work. FlyQuest still going after the Sol. UmTi wants to try to contest it. He walks in and he steals it away. Nice moves from UmTi. But what about the rest of the fight? Bwipo's diving in after Yeon, but he won't be able to find the distance here just yet. Now gets locked up in the front. Impact going all out, taking it back over the wall with the Sterix Gauge again, doing so much heavy lifting. Yeon is trapped. There is no way out of that one as Quad flashes back away and can continue slowing everyone down with a breath of light. It's 3 dead on TL. They might have stop the Dragon Soul, but at what cost?
Yeah, and Quad didn't get the assist tag on that last kill. Otherwise, he could have chased and they would have killed everybody. But this is just looking completely over here. FlyQuest chasing after APA.
They'll get away, but man, all they can do is watch as FlyQuest continues just moving forward undeterred.
Yep, able to take down this tower as well as mid lane. Look at that, Massu's whacking away on this turret too. 50% of the life of this inhibitor turret, in addition to all the extra gold that they have gotten. This lead has now ballooned to 8,000 for FlyQuest. Even though TL successfully deny another soul here, they actually get the win on this smite. It is ultimate into UmTi walking up, and wow, that actually got down very low there. Below 1,000 before you actually get in range, and they finally do get it. But again, it's the chase down anyway. You still get these extra kills, and so FlyQuest, with their straightforward comp now too, should be able to reset and go for so much more.
And you can just see how little damage it feels like TL has at this point. Yeah. There was a couple seconds there where all APA and Yeon were doing was hitting Bwipo, and they could not move his health whatsoever. They got him to about half health, and they could not get through him. He's a brick wall at this point. He does have the Randuins now in there, and you can see a lot more armor being purchased up there by Inspired, so it is going to be so tough to get through those guys. Yeah, the QSS makes a lot of sense for APA, but it means you're dealing even less damage, as that's going to delay your itemization, and Quad on the other side has no such problems.
Yeah, Quad keeps getting to Arcane Shift forward. That's when Ezreal looks his best. In a lot of these chase downs, he's the one charging forward, getting so much poke damage with those low cooldowns off his Shojin. Has been very mobile. And then, of course, Quad, the Dragon problem, the original Dragon problem. It's fun how we've come kind of full circle back to the original series between these two teams. And he is looking good. He's now also got the extra safety of that arm guard. Your favorite item, Flowers. Now the Dragon gets to dive in, use the Zonias, use the ultimate, and that thing coming down will provide just enough room for them.
We're at the state of the game now where Aurelion Sol has so much counterplay, it's just unfathomable how many things you can do about this champion at this game
I
state.
will say, Seekers is pretty expensive, so it doesn't bother me the way Stopwatch did. Stopwatch was like, okay, it's too cheap. Everyone in the whole game is going to have a Stopwatch. Seekers is like, okay, you had to invest pretty heavily into this.
Yeah, no, I was writing real-life physical letters, like, Dear Riot, please, during the Stopwatch era. But
I
at
was
least...
doing
Oh,
that first.
wait, look at this. They actually have an angle to flank here. It's over a ward for Bwipo, but they could still force.
Ooh, Inspired. Missing the bandage toss, but Bwipo flashing over the wall, immediately engaging with the slice. APA has to disengage, but Bwipo is just a massive threat onto everybody here on TL. Bwipo's still alive for now, having to back away. Sterix gets popped, 15 seconds left on the Drake. No ulti, no flash for Bwipo.
TL are just going to try to play through bot. Look at Yeon and Impact. They're just going to say, okay, you're going over to Baron. We're going to try to play for objective bounties and maybe even try to open up the base here. Look for some sort of a sneaky play. Yeon is not showing it till just now. And then FlyQuest is going to get the news. Oh, this tower is actually going to die really fast. The AD carry is here. So now TL is really trying to play this hit and run style. They've got to look to escape.
Bwipo is not tanky. Remember, no ulti. No Sterix, the ulti about to come back now because of the incredible amount of ability haste in the build. But all right, that bottom lane tier 3 turret taken out there because of some nice macro from Team Liquid. Baron is live on the map. Objective bounties obviously still active for Team Liquid. Drake gonna spawn in about 45 seconds as FlyQuest maintains control over the mid lane. They've got the push, they've got the topside river. Team Liquid on the approach. Got to be careful about this, though. TP from Impact, ready to bring him in. Team Liquid is one bad fight away from just the end of the game.
I think it's kind of hard for them, too, because with investing that teleport, now Bwipo is free to split push. I mean, APA is the only one on Team Liquid that still have that ability to go answer and then still give respect to this Baron, but they actually take mid priority.
He's coming. He actually was pinging that he was looking for a flank, but he spotted.
Oh, Inspired went in for the bandage toss on APA, but it ends up getting cleansed by the QSS. Now Bwipo versus Impact off to the side. Bwipo with the ulti once again. Impact trying to get himself away. CoreJJ trying to provide any sort of help that he can, but it ain't gonna matter. Quad's already on a rampage, and Impact is made out of paper. Bwipo continues leading the charge. He's got the Sterix ready to go again. Hostile takeover over the top of everybody, and APA almost dies to his own teammates. While the Dragon is secured, finally the Soul at last for FlyQuest.
And the death timers are so long that you should be able to get Baron too. Impact has no teleport and a 30-second death timer on Cassante, so he actually has to walk all the way over there, can't teleport in. So FlyQuest here, they're going to actually get their reset on Busio first before walking over.
This has got to be one of the saddest MF games I feel like I've ever seen, man. He just can never press R. It doesn't do anything. They have so many tools to stop him, to disrupt him, and FlyQuest are playing it out really, really well. They're always making sure, okay, we need to save something to stop that MF ulti. It feels like really the only way TL could get enough damage out is a full channeled ulti on multiple critical targets. That would be the only way they could possibly win this game. FlyQuest is AK up and has Soul.
I would actually be very interested to see the total damage done to champions at the end of this game, because I feel like Misfortunes is just going to be so small compared to what Team Liquid was hoping for. The draft diff feels really massive in this one for FlyQuest, being able to shut down one of those two huge threats on Team Liquid. As Busio, recall is going to get interrupted there. The Baron's alive. No Elder Dragon here for 5 minutes. Team Liquid, all right, let's flip it.
Inspired stole the last one simply by walking up.
Inspired now, pushing forward into the river, looking to control that one for FlyQuest. Quad has the mega ulti ready to go on the Aurelion Sol. Bwipo's ready to dive in. He's going to lead the charge once again. FlyQuest now going right back towards the Baron pit. They do this thing fast. Massu and Quad do a ton of damage to it.
Yeah, it's going to die incredibly quick. TL trying to get the push through mid, hoping that it'll go down slow enough that they can look to react. Bwipo has no ulti. That's just about the only thing working for them. But look at Busio. He's positioning for a big ulti.
Quad also has a massive ult that he can drop on this team fight. And now Team Liquid's ready to go in. Inspired in the middle of everybody, looking to lock him up as Busio tries to kite off to the side, but Massu's already dominating and APA's already dead. Hostile takeover over the top. Everybody on Team Liquid's going home in body bags. The graveyard is packed tonight, and the tombstones got horses on them. FlyQuest 5-0.
FlyQuest crushed the fight there. APA tried to go big, tried to look for a pick onto Busio, but Massu handles him easily.
Quad and Massu taking over. FlyQuest hit back 1-1.
FlyQuest 20-3, 11,000 gold ahead. Team Liquid is going to have to reconsider how tough this series might just be. FlyQuest is striking back.
It's back to the drawing board for the draft for sure. FlyQuest played this one out really, really well. but the options for TL seem so few and far between. You're playing a 2-threat comp where one of your carries is not a threat because they can never use their ultimate. It felt like Yeon was such a non-factor, it felt like throughout that entire game, and not really through any fault of his play, but just through the draft that FlyQuest was able to craft.
There's some games of League of Legends that are significantly more difficult than your average game just because of the picks, the bans, and it was a rough one for TL in this one. In case you guys missed it, you can now subscribe to the LCS Twitch channel. Paid and gifted subs will unlock an in-game emote, and all subs, including those primes, unlock your regular Twitch features like badges and emotes, plus exclusive Discord features like voting on access for a ProView VOD. CoreJJ won the vote, so that's going to be available to subscribers tomorrow. Finally, all subscription dollars will be matched by Riot and added to the LCS Championship prize pool to directly support the players. Now, let's head on back over to the LCS Lounge. Raz, break it down.
I refuse. Stop telling me to break it down. That's not going to happen.
You're just anti-authority.
I don't know what I'm on today.
Someone tells you to do something, you're like, no.
Welcome
I don't
back to
think
the
so.
lounge.
I don't like being told what to do.
20 kills to 3.
Yeah, and it starts here.
It was weird when the game ended because it felt close, and then you look at the scoreboard and it wasn't, but this game actually was somewhat close.
Yeah, I just want to watch because Quad is already on the rotation after having shoved in, and here he comes.
Yeah, here comes Quad.
Woo! And this sets up what I think is the Quad-pocalypse in terms in terms of what happened in the rest of this game, right? Here's Core getting cut out. He actually should know that Inspired is here because Inspired had literally just taken Drake right down this way, right? But
What's
Core
funny
gets
is
cut
at
out
the same
here.
time,
At the
Renekton was
same
down
time,
top.
Bwipo got cut out.
Yeah.
This is actually insane. Like, if we watch, they go for this play. They manage, like, ult misses here, isn't able to get anyone. But this handshake, stop and, like, go back.
Let's run it again.
Yeah. I just want to shout out Busio. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
all right, we can play forward
now. You can
now.
understand why Yeon is sitting behind the turret thinking he's getting through the wave. Maybe he should have been a little bit further back behind the turret, but it's just immediate reaction by Busio.
I would imagine a little further from behind the turret. Even if CoreJJ gets, like, blocks it, Azael mentioned it on cast, then you can just, like, handshake into the MF.
Yeah.
Look at this play, though.
Quadpocalypse, apparently.
Yeah.
Now that Emily said this, my eyes are on Quad.
He just is constantly going to be doing damage. This is actually a positive play for TL.
Wait, this was 2 of their 3. This is 66% of their kills.
This is almost all of their kills.
Oh my god!
Wait, no, only. Did they get him?
No.
It was 33% of their kills.
This is when he lives.
Woo! Oh, we're not going to be seeing him
no.
happy for the rest of the game, I can guarantee you that. Just going to put that out there.
All right.
But honestly, the Quadfather had a really good game. I think, wow. He just stood and delivered, and it was really difficult for them to ever get on him. But
I mean, honestly, I think if we go back to that, Busio had another handshake, really nice handshake there too. Another handshake onto Impact. This actually sets up what I think is like the game-breaking fight here, right? Like I feel like this is where it all goes really, really wrong for TL, unfortunately. And the other thing that I know they called out on cast is even though like Yeon gets chunked out here, let's go back to this fight.
And let's just focus completely on Yeon and whether or not he can line up a bullet time.
Yeah, he's never able to
play from here. Play from here.
Start here. We get the handshake.
Yeah, follow Yeon on the bottom of the screen. And basically the Busio ultimate is already on him when he, because Core was going in. Like if he had either waited a little bit or if the Renata ult hadn't have been there, that's why Core going in looked so lonesome. It's because the MF ultimate was actually preceding Core's engage.
Yeah.
It would have been nicely timed.
And then Quad is just, him and Massu end up getting fed off of this fight. But Quad ends up doing so much damage in a lot of these team fights.
Yeah,
oh, this is the TP
fight.
cancel.
Even in that last fight, but yeah, the TP cancel is unfortunate. Impact's in the right place at the right time.
Well, the ultimate bait though, because FlyQuest then just ripped the Baron away from TL.
Woo!
Headbutt.
He just like walks right in there.
Headbutt smite, great execute damage.
Raz, right before this fight, you said you don't see how Team Liquid actually wins a fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I think it ended up being proven true. with little skirmishes like this, because the Azael Ezreal range and then their ability to follow up, or even just Team Liquid's inability to kill Renekton whenever he enters a fight.
That's the biggest problem to me, is from Team Liquid's perspective. Even in the last fight where K'Sante got caught out, their front line is just getting ripped
Yeon
apart
used his ult
by
for once.
Aurelion Sol. So like that's my biggest issue. Aurelion Sol and Ezreal and Renata are way too difficult to get on from the front line, and it makes it even harder. Whoa!
Almost game saving.
For MF to get her damage off.
Yeah, even then though, Bwipo's here. And I mean, Yeon just like really has a tough time playing the game, right? Like he gets this ult off. That's probably the highest damage ult he ends up doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they're able to kill him off the backside of it. Like,
yeah.
He's back.
Is he?
And it was a snowball from that point forward.
I wanted to give him a question mark there, but
you can still do it.
They moved it too fast. This is just, Inspired going in, and then the Azael damage coming out.
See if Yeon can get his ult off. Here it comes.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Okay, we're running. But like, it's funny because at that earlier K'Sante fight, Team Liquid had a 1K gold lead, but the game state did not tell that same story.
No.
At that point, it did not matter. It felt like the comp from FlyQuest was too good and too scaled up at that point.
Yeah, the big thing is, they got quad ahead off of that first roam. Like it started really early on at about, 4 minutes was when that play happened. And then additionally after that, they made it so that Yeon could not play the game.
True.
Like he could not get into a good position. Busio was always there for a handshake, or even after he spent his ult, they weren't able to set it up so that he'd be able to do damage across people, and then Bwipo's on him or something.
Yeah. Really quickly, though, before Game 3, we see Team Liquid selects blue side. Demonte's playing with the vibes, Busio reaction time tests somehow.
He's failing the test.
Where are we on the Renekton K'Sante matchup? Because Bwipo's 6 games in a row in playoffs now. Renekton versus K'Sante. Come on, you can do it.
Oh!
Nice. There we go.
Okay.
If he...
Oh, no! I mean, but he was there.
Busio.
He was there. He just didn't catch it.
I mean, he had some great handshakes in this game. That's all that matters.
That's true.
Also, what's the banana check? We can't
Got an
tell.
orange.
I don't see any bananas.
We're staring at Renekton himself.
But to answer your question, I'm liking the K'Sante side.
You're liking the K'Sante side?
I'm liking at least from game 1, I thought it was good. And also, look, the team fights just didn't look good. I don't think it had anything to do with the Renekton versus K'Sante matchup.
I just think Bwipo's too comfortable. He's not even performing amazingly on Renekton, but he's making so much impact in team fights. Also, Samsung 990 Pro, we're headed to break. But first, let's hear from Pastry Time on how Samsung SSDs power LCS content. Take a look.
Hey, I'm Julian from the LCS broadcast team. I love our battle stations where we cook up gameplay challenges for the pros. These PCs need to have the same fast, reliable in-game experience that the pros are used to on stage, which is why each station is equipped with a Samsung 990 Pro NVMe SSD. My favorite part is seeing the pros' reactions when they pull off a crazy play. It's important that they can truly put their skills to the test, so we need drives that meet those demands. That's why we trust the Samsung 990 Pro NVMe SSD.
Maybe Maokai have to go here.
Okay.
Go. Guys, I'm here. W on 4.
I leveled up. I'm fine.
Yeah. He stuns.
He has some. He has flash. No Maokai
no
flash.
Maokai no flash. Just kill Maokai. I save Q for him.
Nice. I will go mid.
Good
Nice
round
job, team.
It's okay. Look slowly.
I'm looking at Amumu.
Amumu is dead.
Watch Renekton.
Yeah, Renekton after. And he accept to die. I'm
Nice.
looking, waiting flash. Rakan one shot, look.
I'm running.
I W Casper.
Coming.
Q the map, no ult.
She's flashed out. I'm stunning this guy. I'm playing Tron.
MF no sums.
I'm slow.
Guys, look at me.
Yeah, that's you. I'm chasing with you.
Oh, maybe done.
I can't reach. But this might look good. I'm flanking.
Look, it's good. Really good.
I'm flanking. Yeah,
It looks good. It looks good. It
We
looks
killed
good.
them all here. We killed
Corki
them all.
no flash.
Yeah, kill them. Kill front. Kill front.
Yeah, I can
I'm
flash
coming.
Q, but
I'm going
I think
Corki.
I
Don't
will.
use us. Corki. I stunned the thing. He might be. I have Eason.
he has no W. Careful, I'm
Careful,
full.
I'm baffled.
I'm Stark. I'm fine.
TP.
Oh, what? I died almost.
Nice job, guys.
Just try to like, just
No,
finish
no,
it.
no. We killed him. I'm
I
so
got
strong,
everything.
guys. Just play your own game, okay? Play your own game.
That's fine.
Play your own game.
I will jump for Maokai.
MF no flash. I'm fine. I have Stark. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Kanade no flash.
I'm fine.
Kanade
MF no flash, no cleanse.
Yeah, I will
MF
get
has
them
nothing,
back.
MF
I will
has
get them
nothing.
back.
I look Corki, guys.
Nice.
You can go engage MF side, guys.
I'm looking.
Okay.
Rakan is ulting already. Rakan is ulting already.
Yeah. Look front.
Cassandra is dead. Corki is dead.
I have to just come.
I saw
Yeah, we kill everyone. Nice job.
Maokai no flash, nice.
Go mid after.
And mid. Nice.
Nice.
Nice.